Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hey, say hi in chat if you're here. Hello, Adrian. Good to see you on Twitch. There are a couple of people on YouTube as well. Glad you're here. I hope that intro thingy, waiting queue thing was good. I don't know, experimenting. And yeah, today we're gonna do some experimentation as well with FrankenPHP. Intro was nice, is what Adrian says. That's good. That's good. Hey, Yogesh, you're here as well on YouTube. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's a beautiful day outside, and I'm here in my room. I've got the blinds closed, and I'm ready to spend an hour in front of my computer talking to you. That's what I plan on doing, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll spend some time outside later today. But right now, it's a good time to sit down and have a good time together. So, hey folks, PHP has turned 30 last weekend, I believe. June 6th, 7th, something like that. And yeah, I'm so looking forward to next week, where we'll have PHP Verse, which will be a live stream event. You might have heard of it already. I'm going to host it. It's going to be a 6 to 7 hour live stream. It's going to be tiring, but it's going to be great. We'll have some awesome speakers, Nicolas Grekas and Taylor Otwell, some people from the education scene as well. And then there will be Kevin Douglas as well, who is the creator of FrankenPHP. So that's pretty nice. It all works out as if it is planned, which... like this stream wasn't. I woke up today and I was like, hey, I still need to look at FrankenPHP, and it might be like a good time to do it now before PHP Verse starts, right? So yeah, Joris is here on Twitch as well. David, and I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, Owusu, I reckon, something like that, on YouTube. Hey, it's good to see all of you. Thanks for joining. So, FrankenPHP. Well, actually, before we dive into FrankenPHP, I need to. there is something I need to talk about real quickly. I made this video yesterday, right? A short snippet of my stream, and actually, let me do this over here. So I made this video, a summary of the stream we did 2 weeks ago about package versions. Right, and how packages in PHP, a lot of packages still support very outdated PHP versions. And there was this one comment that I really liked, not because I agree with it, but you know, it highlights a couple of good things, and I wanted to read it here because I think it's important to, you know, talk about the other side as well. So yeah, setting the scene real quickly before we dive into FrankenPHP, right? But I talked about I look at the top 1,000 packages on Packagist, active packages. That's important, and I check their Composer JSON version and see what the minimum required PHP version is. That they support, basically. And my vision, my point of view is that package authors of actively maintained packages should really push forward to more modern PHP versions, supported PHP versions. I'm not saying you should support 8.4, although I would do that and just only support 8.4, but 8.1 at a minimum, you know, the versions that still get security updates. And that really, like for the majority of packages, that's not the case. Yeah, this is something people disagree on, and I have a lot of respect for that. And there was one comment that came on this video that I wanted to look into. By the way, Adrian here on Twitch says, this video motivated me to write my own statistics version thing last night. I know, and I saw you sending a message on Twitter about that, Adrian. I actually want to check it out, because the way I'm parsing statistics is it works, but that's all there is to say about it. Well, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe there are slight bugs in it, although I did test this out quite a lot. So you know, it is pretty accurate. There might be some mistakes here and there, but like for the majority of stats over here, it looks to be pretty accurate. So, but let's take a look at this comment here. I disagree with forcing the latest PHP version, which is basically what I'm saying. Or if you don't want to go only latest version, support like only the PHP versions that are actively maintained or still get security releases. So 8.1, that's 4 PHP releases, right? 4 years of supporting PHP versions. But let's read here. It's a naive fix that ignores real-world dev challenges. Most PHP devs aren't YouTubers. Check. Framework authors checked. Or script kiddies chasing trends. I don't think I'm a script kiddie chasing trends. I don't know. They're maintaining massive decade-old apps under tight constraints. Now, I know a thing or two about these kinds of apps. I'm not working on that kind of projects right now, but I have done so for 10 years. So forced upgrades break dependencies, stranding 100k plus line code bases with no migration path. Countless packages get abandoned because unpaid maintainers can't keep up with relentless new versions. This is gold. But okay, let me read the whole comment first. This churn pushes devs and packages out of the PHP ecosystem, shrinking it. Teams end up freezing PHP versions, isolating systems in VMs, and adding firewalls to avoid security disasters. Consultants jumping between short-term gigs don't get the long-term grind of legacy systems. Their mindset creates junk others have to support. I think this is a really valuable comment. And that's why I did want to like start this stream just taking some time and talking about it. Because there are a lot of things to unpack here. First, I agree that like I'm not working on any big client projects anymore. That's part of like a result of the job I'm doing right now, being a developer advocate for PHP. But it's really important. This is actually part of my job description to keep in touch with the community and these kinds of projects, because I am trying to represent like the PHP community or a part of that. So it is really important for me to properly understand what's going on. So it's really valuable. This comment is really valuable to me. Although I don't think I'm a script kiddie. But they're like real life things, projects, massive decade-old apps under tight constraints. Forced updates break dependencies, stranding 100k line code bases with no migration path. So first thought here is that the longer, like this is a problem that only becomes worse over time. Like the longer you don't touch a code base, it will code rot, right? It's a thing. You cannot explain this to people who don't code, but you don't touch a code base for a year, things will break. And that's because of dependencies. Dependencies update. And you rely on external factors, you know. But the longer you wait, the longer you hold off on actually getting up to date with stuff, only the bigger the problem becomes. And from what I'm reading here, in like I don't know the concrete context, but I would say that I've seen these kinds of projects as well, like where you just don't feel like doing the update right now, and a year later you're like, oh no, now it's become such a big thing, let's just not touch it because it's working, right? But this eventually leads to projects that still work, that are a mess to maintain. And I would say that's not because of like the third parties evolving, right? We're talking PHP, but we're also talking like just everything, basically, web servers, operating systems, server operating systems. Like there are so many things that you build on top of and that you cannot really control. People, like projects, need to move forward. Software needs to evolve because otherwise they end up in the same place you end up, right? So you cannot get around this fact that in order for a code base to stay healthy, you need to move along. You cannot like own everything, basically. So it all starts with a mindset, right? And I totally get it, that once you're down a path in a 10-year-old code base that never accepted or never started with that mindset of we're going to properly maintain this, then yes, of course it is going to be a big pain, because and then you end up in, I like this where the isolated systems in VMs and firewalls to avoid security disasters. Like, these are all like patches, but don't really solve the problem, right? So while I have a lot of respect for people working in such systems, because I know it's not always super fun, it's also something that I don't think the problem isn't caused by the root problem. I mean, isn't caused by software updating, which I say is a good thing. No, it's caused by probably upper management or company owners or clients deciding, I don't want to invest into a healthy code base anymore, and then it starts to rot. So for me at least, the problem lies there, and it's not with software just updating. I'm gonna read the comments in a second, but I want to finish. I see comments flashing by, but I'm going to come back to you. But I want to finish with one more thought here, because countless packages get abandoned because unpaid maintainers can't keep up with relentless new versions. Now, this part I really disagree with. I worked at Spatie for 5 years. We had 300 Laravel packages. We had a week every year when, and we usually did this a month. No. We did this right when the new major Laravel release got released. We had a big Excel sheet. We went through all our packages and we updated them and we put in the work. That's the commitment we made. Now, on the other side, right? If your company is relying on open source software and you're claiming that packages get abandoned because maintainers are unpaid, well, we all have a part in that, don't we? So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna throw the ball back at you, basically. Just then start paying to support maintainers. Or what you can also do, and I've run into this multiple times, if you run into an abandoned package, just fork it. Maybe just keep a copy within the project. That's fine. You don't if the package is abandoned, of course. You don't need to feel the pressure to start a new open source project. You can just fork it privately and then start working on it over there. I've run into countless packages that, didn't update to the latest PHP version. And the first step is to, submit a pull request and try to get in touch with the maintainer to have it updated. But if that doesn't happen after, a while, you just fork it. It's fine. That's open source, right? So that shouldn't be a blocker. But still, you should pay open source maintainers from a company's point of view, right? So yeah, those are my thoughts, and I might actually wrap this up in a small video as well, because I think it's a really valuable comment, right? It highlights a real world problem, and I'm not denying that these problems exist, but I don't think that we can blame software trying to stay up to date for these kinds of problems. That's the core of my message here. Let's see what chat is saying here. You're going wild. Good morning from South Africa. I agree with the comment. Okay, our code base is 24 years old with nearly 1 million lines of code, and we are trapped on old versions and upgrading right now, which is a nightmare. Hey, but good for you on finally biting the sour apple. Is that we say that in Dutch? I don't know. We are strangler frigging from, I don't know what that means, but from PHP 7 to Laravel 12 using a complex set of Docker maintainers. Yeah, software is complex indeed. We absolutely should have kept, of course, and that's a plan, should have kept up to date, I reckon you mean, but keeping up is not trivial in the real world. So again, I'm circling back to what I'm experienced with. At Spatie, we did our own project where we put in the time, we marked our calendar. This is 1 week or 2 weeks of update time, and we don't work on anything else, and it costs us money. And then we had client projects as well, and we just drafted in the contract, if you want us to maintain your project for the coming years, you will have to budget the time that it takes us to update every year. And we keep up to date with the latest PHP version and the latest Laravel version. Those were the two big things, right? So someone has to pay for it. I agree. I would say that it pays out in the end. So I think at least the versions that are current should be supported. Fair enough. Even trying hard to keep up, we sometimes end up with a version behind for a while. Fair enough. Although I would say, like, if you wait 2 years, there's more work to be done to get up to date again. So just updating every year is the easiest thing to do. So again, this mindset of we just let the work pile up for a while. It's not going to win you time in the long run. So yeah, that for me is the biggest argument to say, like, let's just only support the latest version, because it doesn't really matter anyway. If people wait too long, they're gonna have more work, so you don't win anything there. And then Richard, this was all Richard's point of view. By the way, thank you for pitching in, Richard. But yes, I agree with your point of view as well. We definitely should have kept up to date and are paying for it now. And so yeah, that's kind of, and I'm not trying to shift blame here, because and you're paying for it now. The thing is, these decisions are often made by people that you don't control as a developer. So we're developers here. Although if someone who's in upper management watching, like decision makers, this is really valuable information, I would say, for you as well. I think everyone will be more happy in the long run, clients and like agencies, companies. You will be happier in the long run. But it's like, yeah, it takes an investment. That's true. Although it's an investment that pays off really quickly and really well. I think many PHP devs started with learning by doing and did many things wrong. Gloomy Art says the newer versions of PHP are on side way more restrictive, but on one side way more restrictive, and on the other side conceptually more easy to program stuff. Yeah, I don't know if they're easy necessarily, especially with all the new syntax we're getting, which I like, but I reckon like things can become quite complex in PHP these days. But yeah, I would definitely say I like the newer PHP versions more. And the thing is, like, when you say that many PHP developers started with learning by doing and did many things wrong, I don't think that's specific to PHP. PHP does have a lower entry level, so you might attract more people like just trying to hack something. But that's the same goes for other languages. And like I mentioned at the start of this stream, we're having PHP verse next week, where we actually, let me put on the website here, PHP verse. And we'll have, let's see here, a panel over here about PHP education with Jeffrey Way from Laracast, Povilas Korup from YouTube Laravel Daily, and Kevin Bond from SymphonyCast. And I'm really looking forward to this part as well, because we see that, or at least my impression is that more and more people getting into PHP are really into properly learning the language as well. So that's really interesting. I find that really interesting. So yeah, circling back to Twitch for a second, where Adrian is talking about his tool that he wrote, and he said like his tool to scan the top 1,000 most popular packages. He says, I gathered min version, max version, last release time, and nearly all top 1,000 packages support up to 8.4. This is an interesting point, because that's absolutely true. The thing is, when I start, my website's slow. Oh no, it's backing. Okay. When I made this graph, I was really contemplating whether I should focus on minimum supported versions or maximum supported versions. But the story I wanted to tell with this is that as long as packages support all the versions, you're not forcing people to update, right? And so that's the problem I want to highlight with this. It's not about whether they support 8.4 or not. It's about whether they still support outdated versions. And it's actually a good argument that most packages support 8.4, because that's one less reason for people to say they shouldn't update, right? Now, this is top 1,000 packages. If you're relying on like very like exotic, weird packages to do a very specific thing, chances are they won't get regular updates. But this is interesting as well. Like during software development, right? The moment you compose or require a dependency, you should like give some serious thought to that, because you are basically adding, well, a dependency in your code base. You're basically saying this is something I want to rely on now. And when you're designing a project, you need to like give good like thought to that. Like in most companies, you already need to check out the licensing, right? Whether you're allowed to use it in your context. That's the first step. But you should also look at, is this package actually actively maintained? Is there a community there where we can fall back on? Because you're basically if you're building commercial projects, right? It is quite like a big thing to just rely on something where you don't know the author, where you don't have any guarantees whether the thing will still be actively maintained in the future. So yeah. That's why Docker was invented, Adrian says, to run old WordPress sites based on PHP 5. I don't know. Are you kidding? Or is that for real? I don't know. Yours here. We upgraded all of our I cannot. Again, we upgraded all of our microservices from PHP 7.4 to 8.3. Rector was a huge help, and we had PHP stand set up properly. So this is also a thing. If you have like the tools in place that that, you know, make the process easier, you'll just be a lot happier, and you will also make a lot more like update a lot faster, because you know it's not that big a deal as it used to be. You can automate a lot of things these days. So yeah, Adrian says, I wanted to know if maybe just half of the packages don't support the latest version, which would be crucial. I guess you're circling back to a previous point, Adrian, which I don't remember what that was about. So yeah, could be. I don't know. That would be crucial. Yes. Hey, okay. So that's my small rant about like follow up on PHP versions. I really appreciate, like, I'll probably make this into a YouTube snippet as well. So Ogumoon, I really appreciate you pitching in. This was a really good comment. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for allowing me to react to it. So appreciate it. And definitely, if you're watching this and you're like, I have some more follow-up thoughts, leave them in the comments below, and that way we can learn from each other. So thank you a lot. Okay, let's head over here. I'm gonna dive into something new now. I saw this post on Reddit. 30 years of PHP. FrankenPHP is now part of the PHP organization. This news was already like out 2 weeks ago, but the foundation now also wrote a blog post about it. So it's a small blog post. Let's read through it. On June 8th. Here's the date. Rasmus Lerdorf released the first version of the PHP language. Over time, PHP has become the most popular server-side programming language, with now powering over 70% of websites. I don't know how accurate this number is. Roman, Roman. That's my colleague, by the way, Roman. He's talking on PHP verse as well. But 70% of websites, I don't know how accurate that number is. It's fair to say that a large part of the web is powered by PHP, but 70%, I'm not sure about that anymore. And you know, people like these websites, they base their numbers on publicly accessible like header file, request and response header information, right? But if you like configure your server to not expose that information, then you get skewed data. And as far as I understand, there are like most servers outside of PHP don't expose their version information. So I think this number is really skewed towards PHP, while it shouldn't. Although it's fair to say there is a big part of the web powered by PHP. Exactly 30 years after the first release of PHP, we are proud to announce that FrankenPHP, a modern and high-performance application server based on Caddy, is now part of the PHP organization on GitHub. As a reminder, FrankenPHP offers features that are unique in the PHP ecosystem. Simplify the development of applications written in PHP. I'm curious about that. I don't know. Just drastically improve performance while considerably reducing hosting costs, FinOps, and energy consumption, GreenOps. This is for the upper management. Facilitate deployment in production, whether on bare metal servers or cloud native environments. Easily develop real-time features thanks to native Mercure, I don't know what this is, protocol support. It's by the same authors as FrankenPHP. We'll look into it. We'll try to look into it. Extend PHP apps with Go, C, and C++. Oh, that's interesting. Support the PHP programming language in any application written in Go. Oh yeah, so you can use PHP in Go. Okay, it's interesting as well. The move of FrankenPHP into the PHP organization follows the announcement of FrankenPHP support by the in collaboration with Lettier, who are that's the company behind FrankenPHP, and the team maintaining the Caddy web server. That's actually interesting. Caddy is involved in this then as well, or not? I don't know. Uh-oh, that's definitely a lie. Someone says here, point 2, drastically improve performance while considerably reducing hosting costs, energy consumption. I don't know. I'm just reading the blog post. Do share your thoughts in the comments, RSF on YouTube here, or in chat, if you have like any follow-up here. I don't know. My reasoning was that FrankenPHP is faster, so you naturally need less like servers to run the same amount, to be able to handle the same amount of traffic. But I don't know. I haven't used FrankenPHP yet. Like, I hope in 5 minutes I will have. The roadmap and new features. Oh, hang on. This is the first step towards greater integration of FrankenPHP, I reckon, into the language ecosystem. This is interesting. I wonder what this is about, like what the next steps are. And actually, I don't know. Like, Roman is my colleague, but I don't know the next steps. So interesting. I'm getting it. Hang on. Can we pause this? Show controls? No? Okay, we cannot show the controls. I'm getting, like, I know this is the event I'm hosting, but like having this on loop kind of annoys me. The roadmap and new features that are likely to change the way PHP applications are developed will be announced at the, at PHP first, on June 17th. Mark your calendars. That's next week, Tuesday. I hope I'm not like making too much, like promoting it too much, but I'm just really excited about this event, folks. I'm hosting it, so yeah. Happy birthday, PHP. Okay, so yeah, okay, we can do that. I've never used Caddy either, so I wonder. I hear that it's pretty good. I use Nginx, but okay, we'll have to look into that. And then Mercure, is that pronounced correctly? Mercure, real-time made easy, is an open solution. I know the company is French, right? So I suppose you pronounce it Mercure instead of Mercure. It's an open solution for real-time communications designed to be fast. So I guess this is okay. Yeah, instead of WebSockets. Interesting. I wonder, like, why would anyone want to use this over WebSockets? Which like WebSockets are like the yeah. Okay. Adrian says here, I hope that PHP Serve will utilize FrankenPHP in the future. Yeah, that would be interesting, right? So if like the maybe the default way, or like an opt-in way to have just use FrankenPHP from the built-in PHP binary. Because FrankenPHP is production ready, right? And from what I get, it has like the caddy server built in. You don't have to do anything. You just, deploy your binary basically. So that would be really interesting. It would really make PHP like just, compile, I reckon, to a binary for production. You don't need it for local development, but when you're going to production, you compile your whole project into a binary and just push that to a server and done. Of course, it doesn't account for things like databases and stuff. So yeah, let's take a look at FrankenPHP because I want to try it out, and I hope it's just like super smooth. Because, yeah. Oh no, I have a problem here. That's okay. We're gonna ignore the problem. So yeah, this is Tempest, which does have like uses let's say localhost 81. Oh no. Oh, I haven't fixed this yet. Okay. So yeah, this is the built-in PHP server. And now I want to try to run it on thingy, FrankenPHP. I'm also thinking let's maybe run the docs Tempest. Let's run this website actually, and now serve won't work as well. Yeah, okay. Localhost 81. Okay. I guess this makes more sense. So I want to run this with FrankenPHP, basically. Let's see if it works. Adrian says here, Kevin, who's the author of FrankenPHP, is also the top 5 caddy contributor. Interesting. Yeah, I reckon there is some overlap there. That makes sense. The modern PHP app server written in Go gets. By the way, look at this comment here. Hang on, someone here. Where is it? Maybe it's. Yeah. That's a lot of work. This was on Reddit, right? That's a lot of work just to not learn the easiest, simplest language. LOL, referring to Go on a PHP subreddit. Okay. That was just a troll. So. Let's see. Okay, Mercure we're going to ignore for now. Okay, this is getting started, right? Yes. FrankenPHP is a modern application server for PHP built on Caddy. FrankenPHP gives superpowers to your PHP apps thanks to its stunning features, early hints, worker mode, real-time capabilities. Okay, yeah. Learn more on FrankenPHP in the slide deck. How to get getting started. Standalone binary. We provide static FrankenPHP binaries for Linux and macOS containing PHP 8.4 support and most popular PHP expansions. Yes. Download FrankenPHP or copy this line in your terminal. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Copying a random shell script. Oh. It will be fine. Will be fine. Oh, come on. So we're downloading FrankenPHP, and we're also increasing the zoom a little bit more so you can read properly. RFS says, yeah, it's also kind of annoying when setting up a new server. Oh, I missed a part, I think. It's okay, so FrankenPHP is kind of annoying when setting up a new server with full package and then removing Apache 2. Right, but isn't that just because like setting up new servers these days, like depending on how you set it up, but they install Apache by default because of PHP, and now you don't need it anymore, so you just need a clean server? I don't know. I suck at DevOps, honestly. I don't want to do anything with DevOps, and here I am installing FrankenPHP. Okay. FrankenPHP downloaded successfully. Move the binary to, yes. Let's just do that. Okay. And then we can say, to serve the content of the current directory, run FrankenPHP PHP server. Okay, so I have to go to public here. Public. Okay. It's already in use. Yes. Okay. You can also run command. Docker images. Yeah, but I don't want to use Docker. Docs. Classic mode. Let's start there. Without any additional configuration, FrankenPHP operates in classic mode. In this mode, FrankenPHP functions like a traditional PHP server, directly serving PHP files. This makes it a seamless drop-in replacement for PHP FPM. Yes. Similar to Caddy, FrankenPHP accepts an unlimited number of connections, okay, yeah, and uses a fixed number of threads to serve them. The number of accepted and queued connections is limited only by the available system resources, okay. The PHP thread pool operates with a fixed number of threads initialized at startup compared to the static mode, yeah, of PHP FPM. Yes. Yes, so that's classic mode. And worker mode is boot your application once and keep it in memory. I know for sure that this won't work yet with Tempest, but that's on Tempest's side. And that's, we do want to add support for that. I know Symfony has support, Laravel has support, but the thing is, like there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind when you're having long-running processes in PHP. So you only boot a framework once, right? But like for things like, for example, the database connection is a tricky one because that's booted, but then it times out after a while and then you need to refresh it. We're already doing that for tests, but not yet for, it's not like trivial to do with worker mode. So, but yeah, how does worker mode work? Set the value of Franken with Docker and with standalone binary, FrankenPHP worker path to your worker script. Yes. If your PHP app is embedded in the binary, you can add a custom caddy file in the root of your app. Yes. Okay. I don't know what embedded in the binary means, but yeah, that's further down the docs. It's also possible to restart the worker on file changes with the watch option. Okay, some Symfony, Laravel, custom apps. Yeah, so this is interesting. Let me actually just check this out for a second because I am curious what needs to happen. Okay, so you need to ignore user board. You need to boot your app kernel. Yes, this is basically what's happening in over here. But yeah, in Tempest I'll have to change some things here to make this work, of course. Handler outside the loop for better performance, doing less work, yes. So you create a handler and then you handle, okay, yeah. I'll need to do some refactoring to get this to work, but that's fine. Max requests, if number of requests is 0 or okay. And a 4 number of requests. So we'll loop over the, yeah, okay. And then there is this function handle request, sure. And then we do something after sending an HTTP response, collect cycles, and well, not keep running is break. Okay, and then shut down. Okay. So it doesn't seem too complicated, honestly. I would need to make some changes in Tempest, but super doable. And then you start it and then you restart. Okay, so but hang on, because we were getting started and I need to know how to how to use another port. Let's see if like help is available. Or someone in chat can say. Let's see. Add package build info completion environment file server hash password help list modules mem page. Yeah, that's for caddy. Run a PHP command. Yeah, actually I need the help for for PHP server, right? Listen. So I reckon it's something like this. Listen, localhost 8181. Hey, I mean, look at me. Or, oh, you could also do something via env. Adrian says. Okay, but this seems to work, I guess. Let's see. Let's see if it works. Let's go to... Oh, it works. That's nice. Seamless. It just works. Okay. That's pretty cool. Now, what I'm wondering about, another big thing. So worker mode, I need to make some changes. Compare the speed, Adrian says. Yeah, but the thing is, okay, yeah, I have Nginx running locally as well. So, okay, let's compare the speed. So this is, hang on, this is Tempest php.test. Yes, this is Nginx, right? And then, but I don't know how accurate this is. Of course, this is local development, but okay, let's just see. And then we have localhost 8181. Oh, this is actually going, yeah, this is going. Yeah. Okay. But I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Okay. Oh. What's the problem? Should I do it like this? No. Huh? Why doesn't that work? Invalid argument. I probably did something wrong. I don't know. Should I ditch the HTTP? No. Huh. I don't know. AB invalid argument. Why is it in Dutch? Change to English. Yes, I am a human. Oh, you need to use really HTTP 12700. Okay. Okay, let's see here. So we had with Nginx 5 requests per second, 200 milliseconds, but I don't know if this will just work, like be better out of the box. I reckon, like, okay, with worker mode it should be faster, but let's see. Okay, it is a little faster, but it's local development, right? So I didn't expect like miracles here, but okay, it is faster. That's good. Very interesting. Also, by the way, you know, the fact that you have to do this, come on, it's 2025, and like if you can't figure out localhost is the same as 127.0.0.1. Yeah, OS I don't know. Okay, so interesting. Worker mode, that's where we were before Adrian distracted us. Worker mode needs some work. But this is what I wanted to look into as well. FrankenPHP has the ability to embed the source code and assets of PHP applications in a static self-contained binary. This is really interesting. Yeah, so thanks to this feature, PHP applications can be distributed as standalone binaries that include the application itself, the PHP interpreter, and Caddy, a production-level web server. Yes, for embedding Laravel applications, okay, yeah, we're not doing that. Preparing your app. Before creating the self-contained binary, be sure that your app is ready for embedding. For instance, you likely want to install the production dependencies, dump the autoloader. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's, you know what we're gonna do? Git remote -v. This one. And we'll git clone in tempest php.com production, something like that, right? Because I have to do some work here, tempestphp.com/production, because we have to install Composer, install no dev, and we have to Composer dump autoload, I guess. Oh yeah. And I think you have to do it like this. Optimize, yes. Enable production mode of your application, if any. So what do they do with .env files? I reckon that's still just on the server, of course. Strip unneeded files such as .git or tests to reduce the size. Okay, let's do that. I mean, let's trying things out. Also, let's open a project here. What's it called? TempestPHP production. This window, please. So we can remove quite a lot of things here. We can remove this. We can remove tests. Source, kind of needed. Yes. I need to install, true. And then run build as well. That's also part. Actually, I can just read the deploy script, right? What needs to happen here? Bun discovery generates. Oh. Yeah. Hang on. I need to tempestphp.com/index. No. Hang on. It's this. I need to do this. And then run build. I know what I need to do to deploy my own website, of course. Yes. Stefan says docs look amazing. Props for the design. Are you talking about FrankenPHP or TempestPHP? Because personally, I like our docs more, honestly. But that's fine. Okay, so we run builds. We've done. We need to static generate also. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. This is interesting. How will? Oh, this is so slow. Oh, I have. Hang on. No. Huh? Hang on. Static generates. Yeah. Okay. I'll just wait. Tempest docs. Thank you, Stefan. We do put a lot of effort into it. After PHP verse, we're ready to like almost tag 1.0, but that's after PHP verse. A little bit too many things going on right now for me to like properly do all of that. Okay, so we've done build and static generate. Yes. Well, that's going. I don't know why it's so slow, honestly, but it works. Then. Yeah, what about database stuff? We don't really use database, which is unfortunate. But Tempest cache clear, discovery generate. Should we do that as well? Yeah, but discovery cache is disabled, so I probably need to production and then base URI tempestphp.com cache. Yeah, can be this true. No, hang on. This is still the old framework. Install framework. It is install framework. Framework. Yes. And then we can just now env dot. Is it the same? Oh, I already updated it. Okay, all caches on, and then discovery generate. Discovery generate, please. Yes. Gloomy art here. I think Tempest could be I hope you're talking about Tempest. Could be the PHP framework of the future. Thank you. I've already set up a dev environment, but I didn't have time to write a single line of code yet. That's fine. You will in the future. Everyone will. I'm kidding. I've totally lost track. I think this is production ready now. So if we go to tempestphp.com/production.test, this is running with thingy, Nginx, right? But yeah, this is all, oh, I don't know why that happened. It's fine. Yeah. Okay, so let's just say this is production ready. Strip unneeded files. Yeah, we could remove a lot of things here, but this is something you would do on your, like, a build server, right? With a GitHub action probably. Yeah, for instance, oh, hang on, set proper environment value. Yeah, so you do need, like, to set environment stuff, but that's because you, yeah, optimize.env. How does that work? No, this is for Symfony specific probably. Customizing the configuration. To customize the configuration, you can put a caddy file as well as PHP ini in the main directory of the app to be embedded. That's pretty cool. So it's like, it really becomes something on its own. It's really nice. Okay, creating a Linux binary, creating a binary for other OSs. Yeah, I mean, we can do it with Linux, I guess, with Docker. I hope. Is it easier to do it? If you don't want to use Docker, or want to build a macOS binary, use the shell script we provide. Okay. 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 Let's try to do that. FrankenPHP. And then we say embed equals. Okay, and then would this work? No, probably not. What? Home. Hang on. Tempest php.com/ I don't want to. This is what I need. Now we go back to FrankenPHP, and then we say embed equals. Oh no. And then build static. Let's go. Interesting. I don't know how long this will take. It's updating Homebrew. Oh no, folks. It's been good knowing you. Maybe some last words here before we wait for hours. Maybe, I don't know. It's updating Homebrew. Who knows what will happen? Automatically fixing build tools. Go ahead. I'm starting to doubt whether I should have done this. Maybe like Docker would have been easier. Because it's doing things but hey, I told you I'm a DevOps noob, right? So it's still working. So as far as I'm concerned, it's, well, still working. Right? Ooh. Yeah. I can also try to do the Docker thing. Static builds.docker file. I'd never removed .git. Now it is. And then we need to paste this in my static build from platform. Yes. Copy your app. Work there. Yes. So that's my PWD here, I guess. But Docker will be slow as well. Build the static binary. Where should we put it? tempestphp.com. Let's do underscores. You can tell the person is in love with PHP when the device doesn't have package config install. We'll see what what's fastest. Oh, I don't even have Docker. No, I do have Docker. Oh no, I know. I'm on a clean Mac. It was fine as it was. Oh. Ah, okay. Get it. I don't need to change these paths. Thank you, Zirka. Install Docker. Do I need to install Docker desktop? Yeah. With an Apple Silicon chip. Sorry. You know, I can just blame that this is a new Mac, you know, and I haven't had time to set up all the things I needed. Something like that. We'll see what works fastest. But I know with Docker, you can tell a person is a real dev when they don't know anymore on which machine they're on. Hey, I don't think I've ever claimed I'm a real dev. Well, I did claim I'm not a script kiddie, so. No, but honestly, I'm really bad at, I do admit this, I'm really bad at DevOps stuff. It's just not, I'm like totally not interested in it. So that's how, like with Tempest, like we have quite a lot of workflows here. Where's their integration test thing? These are, in my mind, complex, but like Aiden helps out with these a lot. Like that's basically his real time, his real life job, right? Is writing these things, as far as I know. So, yeah, it's just maybe it makes me a very bad developer. Yeah. Okay, so Docker. We have Docker. To me, DevOps is just another buzzword to sell stuff. Yeah. Except, I guess, Docker desktop automatically, yes. Why don't I allow, I guess, work. Skip. Oh no. Docker FrankenPHP. I don't know if this will. Let's see. Now we have to wait for Docker, right? And this also takes a while because it has to download all this stuff. But it's probably faster. What does package config actually do? Yeah. I have no idea why it's so slow. Go away. So yeah, how is everyone doing? Oh, this is like great content. I guess this is a time to grab a coffee if anyone wants to. And maybe there are some questions in chat. Anyone know when June is coming to remote development? No, I don't know, bro. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be that slow, RFS says. It like I said, this is new Mac, right? So like it's 2 months old now, but it might actually be the first time I'm properly running Brew. I don't know. No, because I've installed Git, right? And I've installed. Did I do that with Brew? I've installed PHP, which is, I think, with Brew. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. What else? While this is running, we can check out. Now I remember the comments here. Someone who hasn't tried it out. Hey, hi. That's just like me. A good candidate if Apache or Nginx are bottlenecking. That's interesting. But this is the kind of things I want to read, actually. I would say that FrankenPHP's biggest strengths are not only in performance, but essentially the ease of setup. I know, yes, look at... No, this is my doing. Early hints, yes. Is this compression? Broadleaf compression. Super simple config. I recently made the FrankenPHP directive optional. A minimum production ready config for a PHP app is now 4 lines of caddy file config, 5 with worker mode. Mercure for real-time communication, a single binary containing it all, and all of Caddy's native features like HTTP 3, trivial zero downtime deployments, automatic SSL, and more. Yes. Okay, so that's interesting. Docker is done. Huh? No. Oh. Why is it pulling a 1 gigabyte image layer? I don't know. I just copy pasted what they told me to do. I don't know. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I don't know what this is doing either. I'm going to... Let's try to run this with output. See what happens. Maybe it was just hanging on like... Yeah. Let's try that again, actually. You know, I think... I think it was just waiting for me to do something, maybe. The thing that was happening here with the 1 gigabyte image, it's the image that builds the binary. It's not the binary itself, as far as I understand. But I don't know what's going on here, and I'm... Don't want to look into it. I was hoping this would be faster, honestly. So, be aware. I sometimes use a class property as cache. Yeah, it will be cleared at the end anyway. A static, yeah, but not in FrankenPHP environment. So this is an interesting one. You do need to, like, if you have your environment booted always, you have to do some things to make it like work. This leads to some strange issues after switching, which are not easy to spot. Yeah. So definitely, on like if you're writing a framework, that's super important to take into account. Been using FrankenPHP for over a year, never going back. Meanwhile, I don't know. This isn't normal, right? Would it be easy to convert from Nginx in Docker, Kubernetes to FrankenPHP? And see if I can go from 2 containers to 1. I'd prefer that. Caddy's documentation takes a bit of time to get used to. Once you do, everything becomes super easy. Interesting. Deployed an app last week with it. It works really smooth with Laravel Octane. Only wish Docker documentation were better. Docker. Okay, so I feel like many people are interested and are excited about it. So that's cool. Now, you know, when it's like doing things, it's you get the feeling that okay, we're at least like we're waiting, but not in vain. And now we're just waiting. We can try out. Let's see here. Oh, index worker.php. Can look a bit into getting worker mode to work. Although I'm a bit scared of it. Prevent worker script, yes. Okay, so let's see, we have our framework kernel here. But that's not really how Tempest boots. Although I can make a new boot thing. Like we have HTTP application, right? With some imports that should be removed, but doesn't matter. Yeah, we can skip all of this. And we can just do framework kernel boot. Kernel equals framework kernel boot. And then the root directory, let's see how I resolve that. That's just this, right? Yeah. Okay, and then discovery locations. Hang on. Yeah, that's just the empty array. Okay. And then, okay, then we have our kernel. Fine. Then we have to, I think that's all we need here, actually. Handler. Yeah, and then we need to like handle whatever our HTTP. So we, wow. Basically, we need to do this. Now, so actually, we can just do app equals HTTP application boot, right? And then echo app. The thing is, run. What do we do here? Yeah, it might work. Just like that. So that's our handler, sure, okay. Max request stuff, and then we have app. Yeah, we don't really have like terminate. That's already done during the run thingy. Let's add braces. I say app. Yeah, see, but this is the problem here. So this line should probably go here. Then we need to move that in other places as well. Symfony has a reset interface you implement to get your services back to their initial state if that's needed between requests. So that's indeed something your framework has to provide or take care of. Yeah, there are like the small details, right? That might mess this up, but I think it should be able to start at least. I think. So, oh, come on. Worker equals public index worker. No, that's an error. Yeah, that's an error. Hang on. Let's also check up on our. Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, so it's always the same error, I think. Worker script has not reached handle request. It did have like, okay, shouldn't matter. What's this? But now, yeah, server is already, hang on. Listen, localhost, oh, let's do 127.0.0. Oh no, I pressed enter. 181.81. Yeah, this will probably take some debugging as well. I don't know why. Oh, hang on. There it is. Failed loading. Yes, of course. It works. Yeah, I think it works. Let's see. No, it doesn't work. But let's 81.81. No. Caddy serving on. I'm not mistaken, right? No. It doesn't give any logging either, so I'm not sure what happens there. Can I like write out some things here? It is writing some stuff here. And that's my dump thingy. So let's see actually if this works. Tempest tail. Yeah, okay. So it's never coming here because max request is 0. What if I put it at 2? Okay, now it's 2. But still, it's not really doing anything. So it is looping there, which makes sense. So for number of requests, if not, keep running. Let's see what happens here. Keep running. Let's keep running. It's also splits right. Okay. Yeah, it might not be. Yeah. No, it will take some more work, I'm afraid. And this is still, I don't know. Let's go away. Yep, I'm done. Nah, this has nothing to do with FrankenPHP. Probably it has all to do with my like total inability to do proper DevOps. So Aiden will watch this live stream afterwards because I think he's sleeping, and then he will shout at me. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. No, but like all in all, I'm a little sad that I didn't get it to work just first try. Although we did manage to run it in classic mode, which was already more performant locally, which is interesting. And yeah, I'm sure like worker mode, it will just take like a couple of hours of debugging and trying things out to get it to work, and then it will just work. Because I don't foresee any big issues. I'm already aware of a couple of issues in the framework that should be fixed, but yeah, should be fine. So yeah, that's FrankenPHP. It is really interesting. Like, imagine this being a little, like, working a little smoother with a little less setup even, and you know, just working out of the box with PHP in the future. That's that would be pretty cool, right? I really think this is a really great step forward. I'm not sure what the future plans are towards greater integration of the tool into the language ecosystem, but I feel like it's yeah, more things are gonna happen. Oh, changes will be announced at PHP first. I swear you, I didn't know that. I know I read it at the start of the stream, but I just didn't really understand what was said here. I was reading on autopilot. Okay, so Kevin will probably give some more insights into the future. Okay, that's pretty cool. So everyone attend PHP first. It will be live streamed, but you will also be able to rewatch it for free afterwards on YouTube. So it will be on the JetBrains TV channel, but I'll share it on this channel as well. Like, I'll share a link and make a post. So yeah, pretty cool. Very nice. I'm excited about this. That's FrankenPHP, and that was me for this stream. No, folks, I'm glad I got to spend some time here talking and rambling about FrankenPHP, talking and rambling also a bit about like version management stuff. I'll make that into a new video probably as well. So folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, and see you next time. Bye-bye.